It is Tuesday, June 5th, 2018. I'm Carrie Cordy. I spoke a little bit ago in a video about my theory of exponential growth and that it bends back upon itself. And at that point, it's the second decimal point. The point to where numbers or a measuring system where the limit of that is. There is a finite limit to what we can measure or what can be measured. And what is beyond that, that is where God dwells. That's where we don't understand. That's what we can't even put a definition on. Such as a false concept is enlightenment. Because if you seek enlightenment, you are seeking a goal. If you say you are enlightened, you say you have reached a point, when there is never a point that can be reached in this life. Because this life is definable. There is a point, though. And we know this because there is a passing on, and we cannot see beyond that. That is just merely one expression of the second decimal point, i.e. death. So where I'm going with this, as in a life with everything we can measure, there was something before, there is something of our core. And to experience this life, there had to be a veil put over each soul. And the soul would be expressed in science as kind of a dimension or reality shift. There is something outside that was placed upon us to cover everything there, to bring a new set of rules. And beyond that cannot be seen, because it's a complete whiteness, and it cannot be comprehended, so your mind wipes it out. An example of this is when Captain Cook first visited Australia and amazingly navigated his way through the Great Barrier Reef. The Aboriginals that had seen him coming saw weird waves, and so they were looking at these strange waves. They had never seen anything like a ship or a building like that, because it is a magnificent feat. You have great big wooden ships and sails. And it wasn't until one of the medicine man there, holy man, looked at the waves and he said, something is making those waves. Something bigger is there. And he was able to see it, and see it before others. And he was able to describe it, and out it came. So that's an example of the proof of, if you cannot comprehend something, you truly cannot see it. And so if you're going to say, well, what about videos? Well, it's the same thing as it's looking in a mirror. And something such as anorexia or bulimia, where what you see in the mirror is not truly what's there. And even if you were to still see it in that state of mind on a video, you would still see what you have always saw in the mirror. It'll be a little bit removed, but you will still see the same. And it is only through growth and seeking that, not seeking, sorry, in recognizing that you cannot reach the second decimal point, and even if you do, even when you do, there is something beyond it, and that second decimal point is the manifestation of the veil, of the barrier of the physical. And so the journey never ends. And so if you seek enlightenment, you are taking upon pride of the self as to weed out any of the things that would not be conducive to a higher perspective. Because then you are going to get rid of variables, and contradictions are just not understanding all the variables involved. What you seek is your heart, your core. To look at how you react in extreme situations and be able to admit the most embarrassing things, the things that you want to defend, and to justify those actions, even though they are horrible to even think about or look about. Just like when I think of things from my past and I still wince at what I had done in a situation. But like each of us, it is very difficult to look at oneself and one's loved ones and anyone else with the perspective of we cannot totally see what is really there. And there's a compassion that needs to be had in this life that is really, really looked upon as a bad, weak thing. There is no control in this life. There is an acceptance that must be had only through seeking through the heart, the endless journey through the never-ending moment that will never go away. And there is not true proof, and there never will be, that it does go away. There is an ending but a continuing of all things, like it says in science. Matter cannot be created nor destroyed, but changed. Such is true with the soul. An electron cannot be measured. Baffles particle physics, whatever. Such is the same with the soul. It's there. There's ways to look at it, but you can't see it. You can't pin it down, and you can't measure it. Life goes far, far deeper than I could have ever imagined, and there is a depth that is truly frightening to this life. Looking at what life is a never-ending journey and a never-ending growth, and you can even go backwards in this. I know that I do still. But at all times I try to look at my heart and see how I react to situations, and try to keep in mind all the things that I can comprehend that were involved in creating that. My part, others' part, even the part of the wind. There is a perfection in this life that is truly amazing. Oh, my phone was going to slip down. And I am truly in awe of it. Because I've learned that now when I pray, I can't ask for anything. Truly, I cannot ask. Because I know that anything I ask would have consequences and actions and repercussions that go well beyond my understanding. And there are some really stupid cliches of expressing this, such as the butterfly crap. So I ask that His will be done, even though I do not fully comprehend it. There is a terrifying nature to God, and just how in control He is. And how this shit has been said from the very, very beginning. From the very beginning. And not only did He tell us all what was here, what was going to happen, He said it already has. And then we were draped with the veil so we could experience it. And there is times throughout my life I am in complete and total awe at my life that this is finally my time to experience this. The video's about over, but it is my time. I will sing.